The judge presiding over the case of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission versus Elon Musk had sent both parties into what it looks like a couples counseling. I'll tell you more about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric!
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward, but most importantly, become a part of this amazing community. All right, so this case has been going on for a long time, and today was actually the first time that both parties met in court in front of the judge. This is kind of the round two. As you remember, the tweets that Elon Musk sent earlier this year, and I'll show you both of them, basically claiming that Tesla is going to be making 500,000 cars this year, and then correcting himself afterwards. That didn't sit very well with SEC, which, you know, they already had a settlement between each other after the famous 420 tweet, after which Elon and Tesla was supposed to kind of create this commission, this committee, where every time Elon tweets something that may, you know, kind of affect the way investors think or invest into the stock, he has to get an approval. Now, SEC said, listen, it looks like definitely you did not get approval for these tweets. Elon said, I didn't really need to because I didn't believe that this was any type of new information that I'm releasing. They went back and forth, and I have videos on my channel that are going over all of that in very details. But the biggest thing that SEC said, they were trying to hold, they're right now requesting that the judge holds Elon in contempt. They're basically saying, listen, since our agreement, Elon has not once had his tweet pre-approved by anybody, and that's kind of the biggest thing. It's not even about the tweet per se. Now, they were going back and forth in documentations, and today the judge saw them in person, and it was very interesting that the judge basically told him to go and work it out between themselves. And I have to say, I can't agree more, because they need to be working together on this, because if the judge rules one way or another, I can see this coming up again and again and again, or they might have to redraw this agreement. But this way, they kind of are forced to work together, and I think this is the best solution. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, if this is something, or maybe you thought of a different outcome. Now, I do have to say that I'm surprised that the judge didn't really rule either way, because there were so many different evidences and exhibits that have been submitted over the last couple of months, and I've gone through over all those dozens of pages. So that's a little surprising. Now, Elon did make a statement after this, which also kind of raised some eyebrows, including both of mine. I'll tell you what it is. Before that, really quickly, just want to remind you guys that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton and Byton M-Byte, the brand new upcoming all-electric SUV coming to the US and Europe next year, starting at as low as $45,000. I'm a reservation holder, and if you want to be one as well, all you have to do is go to the description of this video and click on the reservation link, or just go to byton.com and reserve yours today. Okay, so let's talk about this possible love connection between and us, because, by the way, the thumbnail, just in case if you didn't get the pun, there were quite a few different questions that Elon was asked, and I think it was including about whether he still respects SEC or something like that. So he kind of avoided mainly all of them and laughed and winked and all of that stuff. But there's one statement that I guess they emailed to media afterwards with this, and Elon said, "We have always felt that we should be able to work through any disagreements directly with SEC rather than prematurely rushing to court." Yeah, no, you haven't been always. Like, once you go on 60 Minutes after the agreement is made, and you say that you have no respect for the agency, I don't really see how this is really, common ground or any type of invite to work together. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that SEC felt that they kind of have to go pretty harshly to force Elon to take it seriously, because you gotta admit, when you were watching that interview with 60 Minutes, he really didn't appear that he was taking it very seriously, right? He was doing everything possible without saying it to let us all know he wasn't giving a crap, to be honest with you. And I know some people really liked it, some people didn't really like it, but nevertheless, you can't say that you wanted to work with them. But I am glad that they are going to work it out. Now, the judge said, listen, you have 2 weeks. If you can't work it out, then I'll make a call and you're probably not going to like it. That was, I think, the message from the judge. But I'm hoping that they are. I'm really hoping that, they will set their differences aside and start working together, and this will actually be a productive sort of a settlement, if you will, moving forward. Because I think we all want this, right? I think we all want Elon to be a little bit more responsible with his tweets and make sure that he's acting like CEO and obeying all the rules and laws and so forth. So he doesn't get in trouble, that all of this negative news doesn't necessarily get out in the media. Like, I had a different video I was going to post right now, and yet I had to rush home and make this video because this essentially negative news is the hot topic right now in headline news that I would like to bring to you guys as part of my job. All right, but let's break this down into positive and negative, because I think the story has both. Now, the positive is the fact that there was no ruling, right? Nobody won, nobody lost. I think if one party would have won, like if Tesla would have won, the problem would have been that, oh crap, now he can tweet out whatever he wants. That settlement didn't really mean much. And I think that was the best part of the settlement, that Elon has to control himself on Twitter for the sake of everybody, right? And if SEC would have won, I would have thought that would have been very harsh. That would have been really, if they would have been going for every CEO out there, for every executive, then it would be fair. But it looks like they've kind of singled him out. And judge said this is an unusual case, and the SEC agreed that it was an unusual case. But Elon and Tesla are an unusual case on their own everywhere they go. So I think that's a positive thing. The fact that they're gonna be forced to work together, I think, will avoid this negative publicity for Tesla, for Elon, and also get SEC and investors' rights sort of protected and so forth. So I think that's a positive. Now, as far as negative, well, the fact that it's in the news. I mean, I literally just mentioned it. Once again, it's in the news. It's a continuous concern that a lot of people have, including investors, that Elon is a little unhinged, and it's really hard to control him. He doesn't even want to be, following the agreements with SEC. So, these are the concerns that we don't want out there. I'm sure as Tesla fans out there, and even Tesla fanboys, don't want all of this. We'd rather talk about the, Model 3 new charge rate, or the deliveries and all these new features with the autopilot. I mean, that's the stuff that I would rather be talking about, and yet we're still talking about this case. And again, I feel like everybody can totally live without it. All right, let me give a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Robert Samir. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon community, the only place where you can watch these videos live. And I appreciate all of my Patreons for contributing and supporting my independent YouTube channel. I do this full time, so thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you want to join the rest of my Patreons and watch me live and just be a part of my community on Patreon, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/E4Electric. Boom, it's right here, but it's also in the description of this video. I'm looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.